And it's a wonderful, warm evening welcome to the Kerava National Cricket Ground as Amjad Sher is opening the innings for the Empire Lions. To FinCC Gladiators opening bat, ex-Finnish Bear batter himself, Sapan Mehta, number 8, opening the innings for the Finn Cricket Club Gladiators this evening. The news from the toss is that FinCC Gladiators won the toss and decided to bat. We have a play and a miss, play and a miss, play and a miss. A couple of plays and misses to start the innings this evening. Looking at the 11s for the two teams this evening. Maybe I'll come back to you with that at the end of the over, just so we have enough time. Lovely evening here at the Kerava National Cricket Ground, and we're also then starting the match on time, even maybe 30 seconds early, which is good. We catch up on some of the minutes we lost in the previous games, but anyway, hoping to be joined this evening in the box by national team coach, Finnish Bears national team head coach Taku Kusano, who's arrived from Amsterdam this afternoon. Been to see some Finnish Bears inaugural under-15 international cricket at the Tikkurila Cricket Ground against Switzerland, as Sher is in again, and Mehta gets off the mark with a tickle off the hip for 2 and just about avoids the run out, coming back for the second. Keeping today for the Empire Lions none other than Arvind Kumar Mohan, with the gloves on the first time this season. Empire Lions coming off a tight loss to SKK Rapids the other evening, for those of you that were following, and FinCC Gladiators yet to open the win column in their first season in the Finnish Premier League. FinCC promoted from Division 1 last year. Sher in again. Yes, that's well played, and then just as well fielded from mid-wicket. Looks like Ahmed Shazaib, I think it is, at mid-wicket. They fielded that last delivery. Sher's in again. Just turn around the corner by Mehta, and there's no run. Which brings us to the end of the first over with the score on 2 without loss. So I think I mentioned that I'll come back at the end of the over. Come back to the selected 11s at the end of excuse me. It'll be Empire Lions skipper Salonen to take the second over from the residential end. Quickly run through the Gladiators lineup. Skipper Jagadish, Sapan Mehta, Arun Balakrishnan, Anant Kumar, Bhavani Prasad, Ankit Seth, Brar, who's the wicketkeeper, Gaurav Pensia, Sunil Kumar, Mohadesh, Ashish Chowdhury, and Sushant Mahajaram. Empire Lions 11 this evening: Ben Vaughan, Jordan O'Brien, Arvind Kumar Mohan, Nick Salonen, Amjad Sher, Mahesh Tambe, Vishal Verma, Mohammad Shazaib, Tejas Prajapati, Raz Mohammed, Nabin Sabkota, and 12th man Budanshu Pandey. Salonen's in again. And slightly over pitched. That's played expansively over extra cover, and I think, yeah, it does, runs away for the first boundary of the innings. That one just getting enough, the bats are just getting enough bat on that one to take it over the infielder. And as soon as it passed the infielder, there's pretty rapid outfield here at Kerava. It's a dry and windy evening. So as soon as the ball's past the infielder, pretty much guaranteed a boundary. Salonen back with a much better ball. Beats the batter, all ends up there, straight through to the keeper. Lovely delivery. Ashish Chowdhury it is that batter facing at the moment. Salonen starts with .4 in his first over from the residential end this evening in full ball. Just goes below the bat, but also just avoids the stumps. Whether you can catch that sound on the stream this evening, but the wind is literally blowing across. It's almost a storm wind, you could say, but anyway, it's blowing across the ground such that everything here is, if it's not nailed down, it's flying. Salonen again trying to nail that Yorker, doesn't quite get it there. Squeezed out to point fielder, just inside the inner circle. 52. Mohamed Shazib it is that fields that one. And there's no run. Currently the field's set down the leg side, that'll be a wide. Yep, signalled by the umpire. Second umpire this evening, Amik Kumal, and his partner at the road end, or the water tower end, Naren Purugala. We have cover point fielder out on the boundary, and here at long off, Amjad Sher just in front of the commentary box. So those are the two fielders out in the power play. This one is coming right towards us. Looks as though he's got enough on it. It's right over the head of Amjad Sher for first six of the innings. So Salonen is going for dots and boundaries this evening, and that brings us to the end of the second over with the score on 13 without loss. So Sher to take his second from the water tower end into left-handed Sepan Mehta. He plays that one just nicely off the hip towards the left hand of the mid-on fielder, and guided well enough that there was always going to be a single. So no issues there. Taking a run, nicely played. So other than the breeze that's blowing right across the ground, it's an absolutely beautiful evening. Just a bit of cloud cover across to the right hand side from the commentary box here, looking out onto the pitch, but lovely lovely blue skies. Perfect Saturday evening for cricket, one could say, as Sher's in again to Chowdhury, the right hander. He's left that one. Sher, as Sher often does, then hands to the heavens when he thinks that it's only just missed the stumps. We can all come to our own conclusions as to whether that would or wouldn't have been close. But anyway, Sher's in again to Chowdhury. He pulls that, and there's no fielder out. I'm pretty sure that's going to go away for another boundary, and it does. Just crosses the rope. No fielder at deep mid. Wrong line, wrong length there from Sher. Just straying from the off-stick 4th stump line. Then I think he's probably going to bowl to the right-hander. And sure enough, not quick enough nor enough pace on that to cause any problems. That's it, straight back past the bowler, and there's 2 fielders converging on the ball there. They'll just come back for the second. So dare we say it's a good start here for Finn cricket. 20 without loss, with 4 balls gone in the 3rd. Not really been in any problems then so far, the Finn cricket batters, and that's commentator's curse. My apologies to the batter there. Just about to say that was a Scher's slower ball, and floated in what ended up being a pretty decent Yorker length. I think he flicked the pad on the way through, and the stumps were disturbed. So, first wicket down just as I was complimenting the Finn cricket batters. Chowdhury goes for 16 from 10. A few nice boundaries there in his innings, 2 4s and a 6, going along at a decent rate, but from his side's perspective, not long enough. It's Sushant Mahajanam who will join Sapan Mehta at the wicket, coming in at 3. The first wicket falling at the score of 20. So there's still 1 ball to come in the Scher's second over to the new batter. Not a batter familiar to me, so let's see whether he's left or right-handed. By the looks of it, right-hander. Yep, right-handed bat. Just taking guard. So instead of the normal keeper O'Brien, today we have Arvind Kumar Mahan with the gloves and O'Brien at first slip. One and a half, perhaps, you'd say. Slips there for O'Brien, and there's also a regular gully, which is Mohammad Shazib, and that's just played out to short mid-wicket. Ben Vaughan, I think it is, that's there, who's fielded that, and that's the end of the over. So 20 the score remains for the loss of 1 wicket. We have Geet Raju in the production room this evening, just providing graphics and flicking between the 2 stationary cameras at both ends this evening for you. So hopefully you will enjoy the experience at the end of the 3rd over. 6.67 runs per over scored, just with 1 extra thus far. I think this tale of the tape from the SKK Empire match then the other night, which was a close finish. The Empire team, I think the feedback that we got here in the box was that quite clearly a close game, decided on just by 10 runs, but SKK tied it with the fielding and bowling, not giving as many extras away, and Empire falling behind the rate when they were in the field. So the 6 penalty runs were also added to those extras, made all the difference in the end. As it's Salonen to continue to Mehta, left-handed batter, and he just plays that one to O'Brien at short mid-wicket. There's no run. As you'll see, no doubt, from the 2 cameras that we have here, the 2 static cameras at the Kennebec National Cricket Ground, the one at the residential end set slightly lower than the. It's a nice shot from Mehta. Flashes over extra cover. Fielder's out there chasing it. We'll reach it. It's Raz Mohammed. Bit of a fumble. They come back for an easy 2. Yeah. So the road end or the water end, water tower end, as we refer to it, is set a couple of meters higher than the camera here at the residential end. So you, as you'll see from the view, you just about get the view of the ball pitching in front of the batter above the umpire's head from this end. Salonen in again, and There's a flash and an inside edge on that. Drags it past the stumps. They'll come back for a second again as fine leg. Fielder chases after that one. Wasn't really in a fine leg position. He was more like a backward square. So I had to come round and field that. Bit of a Chinese cut, but they all count. All in the book. There's another two to Mehta. Salonen in again. It's a shorter ball. Mehta then just guides that one down. Well played. In the end, just backward of point. They'll come through for an easy single. Salonen fields off his own bowling. The slip going back in for the right-hander, who's just faced one ball. Otherwise, the field out for this fourth over of the 6 power play overs is deep third man and sweeper out on the cover boundary. Salonen's full again, well dug out. That's attempted Yorker from Salonen. Mahajanam managing to keep it out well. So better over from Salonen here than his first one. In again. And there we go. That's lovely. It's a repeat of the previous ball this time, which Mahajanam didn't manage to keep out, and that's cleaned him up. The score on 25, so 25 the loss of the second wicket, the last ball of the fourth. So Mahajanam departs without troubling the scorers, having faced 3 balls bowled Nick Salonen, and that's the end of the fourth. You can see perhaps from the attack in the previous few balls in that over that was going to be the Salonen strategy to this batter, come full at him. 4 overs 25 for the loss of 2 wickets, just the one extra. 6.25 and over the run rate so far for the Gladiators. Mehta not out, 8 from 11, and new batter Arun Kumar Balakrishnan will join him, number 44 on the shirt. And as that was the end of the over, so we have switch round to be bowling the next over from the water tower end. The camera now switched across to that end. 24 Sher it is who will bowl his 3rd over on the bounce. Mehta it is that's facing. And that one is, I wouldn't really say it was a top edge, it was it's more of an attempt at a defensive shot attempt. Changed his mind, I guess, and pretty much just middle it almost up in the air, but managed, fortunately for Mehta, then just to come down in between the fields and gets a single. So any which way, all goes in the book. So Balakrishnan on strike for his first ball of the innings, and that's nicely flicked off the legs, and there's a bit of confusion. The batter, oh, the throw would have been, with a better throw there was no question about there being a run out, but the throw was to the to the wrong end. Both batters standing at the same end almost, and confusion in the field. Empire Field not managing to deliver the throw that was required to the bowler's end. There was nobody at the non-strikers behind the stumps. Both batters at the same end there for a moment, and the opportunity came and went. So it's Mehta, after all of those shenanigans, to continue, and he hits that one nicely. Straight back past the wide mid-off fielder. No question about him cutting that one off. 4 runs. Lovely shot. Moves the score along to 31 for the loss of 2 wickets. Mehta moves on to 13 from 13 balls faced. Sher to continue. It's a slow one again, but just about to say same result as the previous ball. I thought he'd got more of it, but he hadn't. done by the done in the flight, and so Cher with 2 balls remaining of his third, and Ankit Seth it is that's next batter in at 5 with a score on 31 for 3. Just plays that one to the mid-off field, and there's no run. So 2 new batters now at the wicket. Not what Finn cricket would have wanted, but Mehta departing the previous ball to show his Cher's disguised slower ball, and that one is played across the line by Seth, and there's no run as that goes straight to mid-wicket. Brings us to the end of the 5th. 31 for 3. The score's on the doors. See whether Cher will bowl himself, or even the skipper will bowl Cher out this evening, or not. Will we see a bowling change at the residential end? So, change of bowling for the 6th. Salonen, having bowled 2, is now replaced by number 3, Mahesh Tambe. And long on, long off, the 2 outfielders for Tambe. And that one is just played through the vacant mid-off area. Cher comes round from long off to field that through a wide extra cover just outside the inner circle and come through for an easy single. In again. Full ball down the leg side, and that's a wide. Amrit Kumal, no question about that. Tambe just straying with his line. Again, leg side delivery this time, crashing into the pad of the batter Ankit Seth, number 23, yet to get off the mark. So final delivery of the power play, quite clearly. It's a dive from Salonen at cover. He doesn't cut that one off, and Cher's going to go around. He's chasing in vain. That'll be 4 runs through extra cover. Nicely driven in the slot from Maestambe, and the batter made good contact with it. Pretty much 4 as soon as it had left the, as soon as it passed the dive of Salonen at cover. Share 2 straight at long off to be able to cut that one off. Tambe in again. Full of ball, that's flicked to mid-wicket. Vaughan it is, that's there, and there's no run. So 2 balls remaining in the power play. 37 for 3, so it's Empire's power play then so far. Unless these ones. And that's nicely played backward of point, and there's a dive in vain from the fielder, and another dive in vain just in front of the covers. Doesn't manage to stop the ball travelling rapidly to the boundary. Just a slight downhill slope for those of you that are regular viewers of the National Cricket Ground. It certainly goes away amazingly fast then when the outfield is dry, and sure enough the inner circle fielders as well as the sweeper that came to join him didn't manage to cut that one off. It was 4 as soon as they missed it. Tambe in the block hole, well kept out by the batter, and straight to O'Brien at short extra cover. No run, and that's the end of the power play. 41 for the loss of 3 wickets, so 10 off that one. Better over for Finn cricket there than the previous couple. No wickets lost, 10 runs scored, so 6 overs, 6.83 the run rate so far. 2 extras conceded by the Empire Lions bowlers. 41 for the loss of 3. Arun Kumar Balakrishnan not out on 2, Ankit Seth not out 8 from 7 deliveries, and I was going to say, are we going to see a change of bowling, or is Sher going to bowl? Looks like it's Sher to continue, so he's going to bowl himself. His straight 4 on the run this evening. Now the final one of his 4 outside of the power play. We have backward square leg fielder out on the boundary, and deep third man. And there aren't any other fielders out. I'm not quite sure whether Empire skipper Salonen has not realised that it's the end of the power play, or has he decided that it's all on attack and no need to have any further fielders outside of the inner circle. Anyway, suspect the latter. Sharing again. Try and just hit back towards the bowler. He doesn't manage to get anything on it, I think. Just past him, but the fielder was round quickly enough to stop any run. So 2 dots to the start of the 7th. Share in again. This one, I was just about to say hit uppishly, but it was, but not at the fielder, in between the point and cover fielder. Not enough on it, anywhere near enough on it to be anywhere going towards the boundary, but still came back for an easy 2. It's almost a guide as much as anything else, that shot. Batter just adjusting his helmet. Share back to his mark and off in again for the next ball. And there's a full length delivery, looking for that Yorker length, I think, there. And the stumps thrown down direct from mid-on, but Bato was in his ground, so no run out. There was a single scored. As umpire Purigala adjusted the stumps at the non-striker's end. After that direct throw, continue with the last 2 balls of Scher's 4th and final over here in the 7th. 44 for 3. Short, just turn around the corner. There's a fielder out here. Deep square, whether he's round quickly enough to cut off the second, he's not. There's a bit of a fumble as well. And that's the end of the over. Sorry, that's the second run completed. The 5th ball, not the end of the over, beg your pardon. So, Scher's final ball of his spell this evening. Decent enough figures so far. Now one just zips past the batter. No run scored, which is the end of the 7th over. 46 for the loss of 3. Nice delivery with from Scher to finish his spell with. Just beating the batter. All ends up outside the off stump. Just slightly left him off the pitch. Nice ball. But, 4 overs, 2 for 20. Maybe me and his skipper Salon will be pleased enough with that. I think economy of 5. Normally decent for Finnish Premier League. So Tambe is to continue for the 8th over. Let's have a look at his field. This time we've got cow corner out on the boundary, and we have not quite square point field, just narrow cover boundary rider, and Scher at long off 3/4 of the way out, not quite out on the boundary rope. Tambe's in, and that one is sliced and through the offside. 51 it is out there, the sweeper. 51 is Nabin Sabkota. And we have yes, we do have a long on. Sorry, just the sun there in my eyes, couldn't quite see that fielder. Tambe's fuller. On the drive straight to Salon, with extra cover in the ring, no run. Tambe persisting with a fuller length so far this evening. He's in balls, and that's dragged down and towards long on fielder number 8, Raza Mohammed, and they just take a single. Tambe just pulls that one a little bit down shorter. Scher comes around from long off to field the ball cleanly enough. Throw off one bounce. Tambe doesn't take the clean take above the stumps at the non-striker's end, but only a single. Moves along to the score to 49 for the loss of 3 wickets. 2 balls left in the 8th. This one is hit straight up in the air towards Scher at that position of 3/4 long off that I was mentioning earlier, and that's right down his throat. No question that he was going to take that catch. Straight into the arms. 49 for the loss of 4 wickets. Seth, it is the batter to depart, and Tambe gets his first wicket. Seth 11 from 12. Couple of nice 4s in that innings, but not able to take it further. Tambe persisting with that fuller length, just up for the drive, and it's Simranjit Brar, number 55, who will be next batter. wicketkeeper for the Gladiators. So somebody now from the Gladiators needs to anchor this innings. Will it be either of these two? Balakrishnan 7 from 8 currently. Bra yet to face. But with 4 down, they don't really want to lose another wicket in the next few overs, and they need to have the scoreboard ticking over still. No need yet for fireworks, but somebody of the Gladiators team needs to anchor this innings from here on in to as far as possible the end of the innings for them to post a competitive score. And competitive here at the Kerava National Cricket Ground is going to be 130 plus, I think. Tambe in again. Fuller just patted back to skipper Salonen, number 42 at cover, and that's the end of the 8th. 49 for the loss of 4. So 3 off that one for the loss of the 4th wicket. As we see a change of bowling again. Yeah, as we needed to, because Sher had finished his overs. So Raz Mohammed it is, who will bowl the 9th over. 6.1 the run rate so far. And the field set out for Mohammed is deep mid wicket. He's in and that's edged, and oh, dropped. Straight in and out. Salonen, normally safe pair of hands. Whether that got them by surprise or what, but that was straight in the breadbasket. Regulation catch, and he shelled it inexplicably. There's Mohammed in again, and that's straight to short mid wicket. Ben Vaughan, no run. So Amjad Sher down here at fine leg. 3/4 of the way out on the boundary. We've got a deep mid wicket. Long on. This one is edged. Bottom edge out to deep mid, and there's just a single there. And we have the fielder out on point around about 2/3 of the way out. And mid-off set back. To my eyes here, looks as though he's just outside the inner circle. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, Jordan O'Brien at backward or deep gully position, just on the ring. As Mohammed goes for another single. So Balakrishnan to face. He's on 8 from 11. And they're playing a miss. Straight through to the keeper. Keeper number 11, Aravind Mohan. Raz Mohammed in again. This one just hit back past the outstretched left arm of the bowler towards the fielder at long off. And they take an easy single. That's the end of the 9th, 52, so 3 off that one for the loss of 4 wickets. Run rate currently just under 6 and over. So just 2 extras so far, bowled by Empire, but I mean, Salonen would be disappointed about dropping that one. Not something that he normally does. Haven't seen that too many times in a national team shirt as well. So it's a surprise. And anyway, these things happen. Number 52, Mohamed Shazaib, who's going to come in from the residential end, playing in only his second game in an Empire shirt, having played his debut against SKK the other evening down here at the Caravan National Cricket Ground. And that's short of length, straying down leg side, and it's just paddled around the corner for a single to the backward square fielder out on the boundary. And let's have a quick look at his field here. We have a regulation long on, long off, cow corner out on the boundary, and deep third man, and backward square just being moved by skipper Salon and squarer, just a couple of paces. Shazab's in, and again on the legs, that's clipped off the pads. Same fielder coming round from backward square, just keeping that to a single. Could have been even two there if the batters were a little bit more proactive in terms of their running between the wickets, but a little bit slow. And there was only going to be then a single, and Shazib's in again. Lost his run up. That's a dead ball, signalled by the umpire. Had some issues with his footholds the other night. There's one again on the legs. That's three on the legs so far. Again played out to the right hand of the mid-wicket fielder. Another single. So three singles to start with here for Shazib. Not played a lot of cricket, not played a lot of match cricket over the last few years, while he's been studying up in Kuopio. A good background pedigree, however, and I think it'd be interesting to see how he develops as this season moves on. As this time the runners running in between the wickets a little bit better than the previous ball, come back for a second. So three singles and a two off the first four balls of the first over as Shazib this evening. Balakrishnan going on to 11 from 15, Bra 4 from 4. Is this going to be the partnership that the Gladiators need? Steady this innings and take the score along to something defendable. That'll be their task. Shazib's in again. And again, full down the leg side this time. Signal wide by umpire Amit Kumal. No question there about that one. So struggling with his lines at the moment. Shazib quite clearly. In again. Straight as is played back to the bowler. And there's no run there. Shazib again. It's a better ball. Not getting much bounce out of the wicket though. But it's a better line. Finish over with a dot. So at the end of the 10th, we shall see the score having moved on to 58 for the loss of 4. So just 6 off that one. First over from Shazib. Raz Mohammed it is that's continuing from the road end. For his second over, went for four so far off 8 deliveries. And it's Bra that's facing. Full and straight, just blocked back to 52. Shazib at short extra cover. There's no run there. Mohammed's in. Just straying too straight. That one is guided. Crew mid-wicket. If there's a good throw in here, there's a chance of a run-up, but no. Batter's made his ground, so they come back for 2. Raz Mohammed just straying too straight there, and Bra easy pickings off the legs just to guide that one past the single fielder on the leg side, who was at a wider mid-wicket, so there's no question about coming back for a second in up there. And that one's a better ball. Beats the batter there outside the off stump. So 1 left in the 11th. 61 for the loss of 4. The score. Raz Mohammed's in. Straight at Shazib, feeling short extra cover. And there's no run. So 61 for the loss of 4 wickets at the end of the 11th. Just 3 off that one. Seems to be a pattern, similar pattern here from pretty much the last 5 overs or so, going around about 3 and over. Shazib, I think it is, will continue from the residential end. Again, as he did first over, straying a little bit too straight. That's just flicked off the pad down to fielder at deep fine leg. 1 run. Shazib searching for his lines here. Not quite nailed it yet, quite clearly. Again, down leg side. Another wide. So I think we had the last ball of his first over, which was outside the off stump, but other than that, he's been pretty much leg side. This one's straying further down the leg, so he needs to bring that line back. More on 4th, 5th stump. Let's see. This one is straighter. Played out through extra cover, past Salonen at regular cover position in the ring. Share comes around at sweep. There's just 1. One for Bra, which brings our Balakrishnan back on strike. He's 13 from 17 currently. Shazib's in. That one is a little bit fuller. Offside line, and there's no fielder out at deep extra. Share in vain trying to cut that one off. So the 4 runs through extra cover. Nice shot, but there for the drive. So Shazeb here, struggling to find some rhythm at the moment. Adjusted his lines, but length were off, so he's better line of the last delivery, but too full. Easy pickings just to drive that one through the covers. Nice enough shot, but it was there for it, and got what it deserved really. Shazeb back in again to Balakrishnan, and that's down leg side. Not sure whether that was thigh pad or bat, but we'll see. The umpire gives a signal. Dead ball. What are we saying there? No shot offered, or?
Nothing. Just cut the ball, delete the ball basically.
There's an effort ball now from Shazeb, having been clipped for 4 a couple of balls ago. Better delivery there. That's beating the batsman for pace then, finally. But he's back into that one. It's the sort of thing that he needs to be bowling more often, I think. As the stumps, Zing stumps light up this evening with the gale force wind that we've got blowing across the ground here, just dislodging the bails. Shazeb's in again. But again, down leg side, and that's another wide. Umpire Kamal spreading his arms out for the signal of another extra to the score. It's a better ball. Attempted flash at that one, but doesn't really make contact, and it just squirts out to Salon, I think it is, that's feeling at point. There's no run. So 1 ball remaining in the 12th. Shazeb second. Again, Shazeb losing his run, whether it's the wind or what, but anyway, back to his mark. In again. This one, straighter ball this time, just played down to the right hand of point fielder Salonen. They'll come round for easy enough single, takes that through to 70, so 9 off that one. Better over for Gladiators. Shazeb still struggling to find rhythm here, quite clearly. Not played much cricket, so I'll give him that. Knowing him, he won't be too happy with the way things have gone then so far. Looking to find some more rhythm. So Vishal Verma it is who shall take the 13th over. Not a regular of the Empire FPL side, so we haven't seen him bowl down here in the FPL. Looks like it'll be right arm medium. Short of length, just strained down the leg side. Shares in chase, and he will just about cut it off with the foot. And they'll come back for a third. off the bat. Wasn't sure whether that was a thigh pad first, but no signal of a leg bye from the umpire, so 3 runs to the batter. As Verma starts with a 3. Run rate exactly at 6 at the moment, so we're looking at a 120 score here if it continues at the same rate. I suspect that won't be enough. Verma continues as outside edge on that one. Keeper doesn't manage to gather the catch, however. Somebody else with not a lot of cricket under his belt. That's Arvind Mohan. Would have been a good catch, and probably one that he would like to think he would have taken. It's short of a length, just going to come down. One bounce to the fielder at deep mid, Jordan O'Brien. For the single. So deep mid, cow corner, long gone. This one is hit straight to Salonen, Nick Salonen at cover, short cover. No run. As Verma's in again. It's a full ball. Just dipping. Just the full toss, then dipping on the batter, then missed everything, missed the bat, missed the stumps. Not too high to be signalled as a no ball. And then was in again, full of ball. Full toss straight to the deep extra cover fielder. Bit of a fumble at the non-striker's end, but just be one. At the end of the 13th over 75 for the loss of 4 wickets, so 5 runs coming off that one. First over of Vishal Verma this evening. And let's see who shall take the next one. So it's going to be another new bowler, 21, Tejas Prajapati. He'll take the 14th. Another new name to me, not aware of his bowling. Again, looks like a right arm medium from the residential end. And it'll be Balakrishnan that's facing. He's moved on to 22 from 25. So, from the Gladiators' perspective, perhaps he's the man for anchoring this innings. Big wild swing and a miss to that first ball from Prajapati, straight through the keeper. No run. Beg your pardon. Commentators curse again on that one. Balakrishnan then holding out straight down the throat of skipper Nick Salonen. That long on. Didn't really have to move. 36 Jagadish, skipper of the Gladiators this evening. He's coming in next. So Balakrishnan departs 22 from 27, just as I was suggesting that he might be the man to anchor the innings all the way through. He departs with a score on 75 for the loss of the 5th wicket. From 5.62 the strike rate currently. 5 extras. As we see.
I'm just gonna hit a few boundaries later. I don't think I need this one after that. Why not? Why not? No, but like,
So Prajapati in again for his 3rd ball. As ex-national team coach Julian Roach decides to stand right in front of me in the commentary box. I can't see a thing. Makes a better door than a window. In again. It's a fuller ball. It's straight towards Salonen again at long on. Now come back for a single. The view of the proceedings improved somewhat as Julian Roach removes his figure from standing right in front of the commentary box. So ex-Finnish Bears national team coach joined by current head coach Taku Kazano. Watching proceedings from the boundary edge this evening. Prajapati it is who's back in again. Right arm over, medium, and that's full. Dug out well by the batter. Fielded at short extra, there's no run. Jagadish with a surname that I'm not going to try and pronounce, and I can't even see it on the full screen anyway, so I'll just say Jagadish, as that's the only thing that I have in front of me on paper. Prajapati in again, full of ball. That's well sliced away, well fielded as well. Just stopped on the ring by number 3, Mahesh Tambe. That brings up the end of the 14th, 78 for the loss of 5 wickets, so 3 runs off that one. Keeps the run rate below 6, just over 5.5 at the moment.
I've got a good eye for these things with no experience. I'm gonna pee. This is near for the both committed. Take it in turn. Yeah? I'm not really into it. Neither am I, but do you think we have any choice? Why don't we just switch it off and just have a little chat? See, what I'm saying, can you come and join me in the conversation? I thought we sitting here adding value to provide revenue that I can, pay you more money, but I mean, don't talk about me. I'm coming. Oh, he has to give us the key. Even locked in. It's windy, so it's blown off. Okay, I'm 2 seconds. I'm gonna pee and come back. Are there 2 chairs in there? Yeah, there's 2 chairs. So I need another. I need 2 chairs. No. Just drag it behind you.
So there, as we have some traffic in the commentary box, Verma it is that took the 6th wicket, which is Jagadish, as that one's played out over extra cover. Salonen not manages to cut that off. They come back for a second. There's a sweeper out there, but not much of an arm. They come back for an easy 2. It's Mohandas that has joined Bra at the wicket, coming in at 8. That's 78 for the loss of 6, so they moved on with that 2 to 80 in the 15th. Verma in again. That's a nice fuller ball and nice and straight, and there's played across the line. And normally for straight balls that's played across the line that you miss, it's wicket down. So that's 7th wicket falls on 80. Mohandas it is that departs with a score of 2 runs. Verma taking 2 wickets in this over then so far. Empress. So Pensia it is that's coming in at 9 with work to do here. 80 runs only on the board at the moment. That's a fall of the 7th wicket. As I'm joined to keep me warm in this breezy commentary box this evening by ex-Finnish Bears national team coach Julian Roach, all the way in from Canada this evening, and current head coach of the Finnish Bears, Taku Kusano. Welcome to the commentary box.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's good to have you, as that one is clipped through mid-wicket for a single. So last ball of the 15th, Verma, not a bowler that I'd seen before, not a regular of the Empire FPL side, but decent enough figures. Last ball of his second over, 2 for 8 currently, doing damage here at the second half of the innings. And no doubt that Gladiators will be looking to score at least 20-30 more runs to have something to defend here against Empire, as he's in for the last ball of the over, just clipped off the hip, and there's just a single as Mohan comes round and slips as well in the field, as the fielders don't manage to cut that off any sooner than the keeper having to run 25 metres to mid-wicket.
Can they protect our star batsman there, please?
Yeah, that's something which I was just about to say. The head coach is not going to be too pleased to see. 82 for the loss of 7 at the end of the 15th. So, first impressions of the ground this evening, coach?
Really impressed, really happy. It's nice to see the sun out. A little bit windy today, but the ground looks in great condition. So you've done a great job there, Andy.
It's well,
you and your team.
Yeah, I was going to say nothing to do with me. I just pay the bills. It's Trooper Stevie Law is the main man here at the Caravan National Cricket Ground.
Definitely big thanks to him. I think he's done a fantastic job. The outfield looks good. The pitch is coming through nicely. I'm sure there's been a lot of rolling being done throughout the winter period just to get this ready. And it's nice to see some cricket going on today.
Yeah, I think we saw some under-15s cricket earlier this afternoon. The first international series in Finland for under-15 cricket, Finland-Switzerland. 2 matches played, 2 T20s, 1 victory to each of the teams, and the difference between the 2 fields quite clear in terms of outfields, at least. That one has just slapped even over the inner circle, and they'll come back and just take the one. They're going to come back
just
to
the
2.
one.
Just the one. Yeah, I think as we saw Taku on the ground as you popped in early this afternoon, having arrived on the Finnair flight this afternoon, which the baggage taking longer to come out than the flight itself, but you can see how the
That is so true.
few deliveries have zipped away in this outfield this evening, and as soon as it's past the inner circle, then it's pretty much a boundary if there's no fielder covering. This one's just clipped out through mid-wicket. That's Raz Mohammed it is that's coming round with his rather strange gait. Number 52 Shazeb at cow corner, not managing to come round to cover that one. So that one is played out again to deep mid-wicket boundary. Just take a single. So we've got a We've got a long on, cow corner, deep mid wicket, long off, and cover sweeper.
Is there a deep square leg there as well?
It's backward square leg. It's not. Yeah, he's deep mid. I've called him out there. That one.
I think they could afford to bring in that deep mid wicket to stop that easy single there.
Yeah, I suspect so. There's a real big gap there in the leg side of the wicket, isn't there?
Force the batters to go for it.
Yeah,
and put a bit more pressure.
They put that in there as a 2 every time, pretty much, isn't it? They're quick enough.
Literally.
Running's not exactly been sprightly between the wickets this evening. I just mentioned earlier on commentary that the running between the wickets could have been a bit sharper. They'd have certainly scraped another 10 or runs or so, I think, tonight. But anyway, it is what it is. That one zips off the pitch wide. Is the call from umpire Kumal at the residential end. Yeah, I mean we've got a long on, we've got a cow corner, and we've got a
deep square leg,
deep mid wicket out there. And he's way ahead of square. So I mean there's a massive amount of area, and yeah, well we've got a backward square leg fielder. That one's lucky. The only fielder basically just to pick him out on the leg side. Anywhere else, and there's runs all over the place. Just a single straight to him. And that's the end of the 16th. 87 for the loss of 7. Just 5 off that one.
But Andy, from what I heard, that this Gladiators team is new, right? They were just promoted this
year?
They
were, yes. Their first season in the Premier League this season.
Okay.
Won the National Division 1 last year.
Okay. So big congratulations to them.
Yeah. And it's early doors. I think this is only their second game. Yet to open the win column, but it is a step up, no question about that. I think
and obviously coming up against the sort of reigning champions, right?
Correct, and this one is slashed through the vacant slip area, and there's no third man out, which is again another strange field setting. No third man in the last 4 overs of a T20. But anyway.
So definitely have to have some conversations with the captain after this game.
Skipper of the Empire side this evening, Nick Salonen, vice captain of the national team. Amjad Chair doesn't get involved in the captaincy of this the Empire Lions 11. So Verma it is to continue. Straight into the gloves.
Empire's done a fantastic job to keep them down. I know they have a weakened team, so it's nice that still with some players missing, they're still able to put some pressure on here.
Yeah, missing a few regulars, perhaps listening to the commentary box as the third man then does now come out with the keeper up. That's a better call, as that one is just lobbed into a driving length, and sure enough hit over the cover fielder in the ring. Easy 2. Could have been 3 if they'd really gone for it, I would have thought, but anyway 2. They score. Yeah, field placings. I know that's something that's bothered you quite a bit in some of the matches that we've seen from the Finnish Bears. I remember the dance scenes that we had in the hotel in Guernsey at World Cup qualifiers last year.
That is so true. I think ultimately it's just about the amount of games you play and the level that you play at. I don't think these guys play enough games, and hence sometimes sort of the fielding positions tend to be quite special. But we're very much working on that and communicating about that. We actually had a fantastic conversation just now about that, is that, you know, cricket's been played for I don't know how many years, over 200 years, and the game hasn't changed. And we need to keep traditional fields in place in order to play the game at the highest level.
Slap for 6. That delivery dropping short of a length Verma there, as he tried to adjust from the previous 2, which were too full, and adjusted too much at that pace. Not really much of a issue of just slapping it over the mid-wicket boundary for 6. Yeah, and that brings up the 100 as well. So the last ball of the 17th is just dabbed out to Salonen, the cover fielder. That'll be the end of the over. I was just saying before, Nick dropped a sitter as well. It's not like him. I think I've seen Nick drop a catch before.
Was that a backward point?
Yeah, the one that was just here straight into the basket.
It looked like he was having a little bit of a chat before.
I think so. It
So
was
he
first
looked a
ball of the
bit-
over as well. And I think it
yeah.
was perhaps. I think my comment live at the time was that I think that just.
I think he was
took him
having
by
his
surprise.
captain's cap on at the time and
Yeah.
was still trying to organize something before the ball came. It didn't look like he was ready for the catch.
Nope.
So
So
that is probably the first catch that I've seen him drop, actually. You're right.
17 overs gone. Run rate just shy of 6. So 101 for 7. It's the last 3 overs. They're probably looking to, I'd say, score 25, 30 off the last 3 to get up to a 130 score. Probably still below par, but I suspect as the newcomers to the Premier League, they'll probably be happy with that if they'd been given 130 before the toss this evening.
I still think it'll be hard with the sort of A-list bowlers coming back for the last 3 overs.
Yep.
I think it'll be difficult for them to put on 30. I'm expecting to see some good quality bowling from Raz Mohammed.
Looking for that block hole.
Looking for those Yorkers,
Yep.
looking at the death.
Doesn't quite find it there, but full enough to not have anything else other than a squirt out through to long on. Nick Sallin it is, just to the right of the commentary box that we don't see from here unless stretches their necks out. But we've got Jordan O'Brien out on the cover boundary. We have deep mid, deep cow corner, long on, long off. Again, quite sure what's going on here. Some issue for the day, and it looks as though the batter's holding onto his back after being hit by that throw coming in. I think his pain thresholds are perhaps not where they used to be, gents. I think that's probably what we would say from that one. I'm not quite sure whether Dickie Bird would be letting play be disrupted here by somebody getting a tap from a cricket ball from the fielding team.
The background laughing.
For the break-in play as Raz Mohammed comes in again, and there's a swing and a miss straight through to the keeper. Some joviality going on here in the commentary box as we have taken a 5 o'clock tea, I think was the call, as Raz Mohammed's in again. And there's an appeal, and that's given. Quite sure it looked as though it was going down to me, but let's have a look.
That's looks like a Raz specialty right there.
Yeah, I think so.
That's exactly what he does there. Definitely what he's known for, those in-swinging toe crushes.
Yeah, just having another look on YouTube. Yeah.
I think with 2 overs of Raz left still to go, how many balls left?
There are
in this over, 2. So I think 1.2 overs left of Raz, and I think that would.
It's the batter's
clean it up,
Pensia that
1.3.
departs. Yeah. So 17.3 overs gone, 102 for the loss of 8 wickets. Run rate just below 6 as the 8th wicket falls on the score on 102. Could well have been the case. It's Anand Kumar, number 98. new batter. Again, not too many of these Finn Cricket Gladiator players known to us. So for those viewers around the world watching the Finnish Premier League cricket this evening, there's a full ball again from Raz Mohammed. As national team head coach Kazana was saying, it's full and straight from Raz Mohammed at this point of the game. Manages to squeeze that one out and come back for a single.
I must say I'm a very big fan of these flashy stumps that you have here, Andy.
All the way from Adelaide, mate. Zingers.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Are they expensive? I love how they light up. Eh?
It's that's Raz Mohammed's in
Catch
again.
it!
That's just goes past the outstretched hand of Raz Mohammed to national team Finnish Bears colleague Amjad Sher out here at long off. Comes back for a single. Now the deal on these is there's an Australian company that they do send them all the way from Adelaide. We have them on a sort of a long-term lease agreement where basically if anything happens to the stumps they get replaced as part of the deal, and we pay an annual fee. Not too much money, but sort of adds a little bit of pizzazz to the proceedings, doesn't it not? When you get a nice, ooh, and that one is inside edged to Shazib. I think it's coming round from backward square leg. Won't manage to cut off the two. A little bit more visuals on offer with the flashy stumps. Something that we copied from our colleagues in Denmark, where we saw them, I think, for the first time a few years ago in one of the Nordic Cup events that were being used at the Svanholm Park cricket ground.
Who's bowling the second last?
It'll be Shazib.
Okay.
Just
definitely one for the future. That
yeah,
one.
I was just mentioning earlier that he's been doing his master's studies in Kuopio. Not played too much cricket during that time, and somebody that we've had in the national squad for a short while during the winter.
His ability is definitely there for everyone to see.
Yeah, struggling a little bit with match fitness. I think he's not played any cricket. That is just his second league outing for the Empire Lions, second at any point of Finnish league history. I think you were probably watching as you were walking around the boundary. That's not quite clearly is not bowling at full pace at the moment. Trying to find his way a little bit. A couple of effort balls that clearly came through a little bit quicker.
He's definitely bowling within himself.
Yeah.
Maybe about 50-60%. There's still more to come from him. One for the future.
Yeah, and hopefully they have got a third man out.
He's too
they
wide.
do, but he's too wide. Yeah,
Yep.
Won't cut that one off.
I just saw the bowler make that. Yep, third man and fine leg definitely needs to be tighter at the back end. Especially for the quicker bowlers. Those positions become so important at the back end.
So, Sher moving finer here at fine leg. And the third man, I think, also has come finer.
Yeah, the third man has come finer.
That one is straighter. And just come for a single as the ball squirted out towards mid-on. And it's Anand Kumar, number 98, facing Jordan O'Brien at mid-wicket. They're going to think about a second to decide against it. Probably a good call. The ball's returned to the bowler Shazib. No, just a single.
They possibly could have taken one on that arm.
Yeah.
They need to be pushing, especially at the death like this.
Yeah, they weren't really pushing, were they? I mean, they weren't putting any pressure on him at all.
Hold it, hold it.
Yeah, nobody behind the stumps at the non-strikers. Just managed to dug that one out. Got through for a single. Moves the score along to 1-1-3. Still probably, what would you say, 25-30 shy of
Pass score.
pass score here. Start of the season, to be honest, pass score has been higher. I mean, I think we're probably looking at 150, 160 as par the first few games of the season. Quite clearly, we've seen that guys have been training more this winter, and strangely enough, as the two of you will know, then training in the winter more often brings better cricket in the beginning of the season. So we've seen 180s and 190s the first couple of weeks of the season. That's straight down the leg side, just managing to.
We've already seen our first century as well in the FPL.
We have
the other day.
Yep, we have
150 something balls, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
That Wicket.
Yeah,
the first one for the season.
A few notable other performances as well.
Yep.
Wicket's ton, and then we had lovely innings from Pavan the other night for the Vanta. I'm trying to think of Lions or Legends. Legends, I think they call themselves. 114 for 8 as Shazib comes in for the final ball of the 19th. A bit more effort in that one. Swing and a miss through to the keeper. That'll be the end of the 19th with the score on 114 for 8. There's 8 off it. Yeah,
I do think this will, obviously it's not the highest score, but I do think with a weakened batting lineup from the Empires, it will be a challenge, but nonetheless. Someone's going to have to bat well. There's going to have to be partnerships to get over the line there. So I'm interested to see how the Empire go about their batting.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the lineup, they've got obvious batters in the lineup. Jordan O'Brien, Arvind Mohan, Nick Salonen. Yeah, after that, not really sure on the other ones. All sort of some new guys that I haven't seen before. That we've said I haven't seen ball, but we haven't seen them bat obviously as well. So Raz Mohammed is going to take the last. He's going to be 6 full balls, I suspect.
6 toe crushes.
Yeah,
that's usually his specialty. Usually what he likes to serve up at the back end. He's very good at it. And some tail back end. And cause a lot of problems for batters.
Kumar is this facing, and he's number 10. Managed to keep that one out. Come through for a single. That brings Bra as the set batter to strike, who's probably the one that Gladiators want to have on strike for the last 4 balls of this innings. 27 from 27. If he can get a couple away here.
Ooh.
Any which way, and that's just inside edge past the stumps. Is it Shazid that's down there? Whether he's cut that one off. He's managed to keep it from going over the boundary at least, but they come back for.
Is that the first 3 that they've run?
Is that a 2 or a 3 that they managed to get there? 3, I think. Yeah, 55 is Brown. He's back at the non-strikers, so 3 runs. Yep. And Kumar, 5 from 6, number 10, facing Raz Mohammed's in. And there we go. The stumps are lit up.
There we go.
Just what the doctor ordered, or just what the coach ordered. In this case, so 1-1-18 for a loss of 9.
I must say he is one talented bowler. He definitely knows how to turn it up when he's got the ball in his hand.
Yeah, and bowling at the death, as that's one of his specialties. When he's on, and it looks as though, I mean, admittedly, there's not a lot of pressure on him here. He's able to put the ball in the right spot, but still. It's got to be done, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic preparation for the tournament coming up. And if he's on song, he's going to be very important for us coming next week for the Nordic Cup.
Yep. Yeah, you'd have to say probably not played as much cricket as we'd like to have seen him play over the last month or so as preparation. But as you said, coach, then yep, seems to be doing it well enough this evening.
I think that's always the thing. We always come in a little bit undercooked based on the weather. And how cricket only starts sort of, when is this now? Late May?
Yeah, pretty much. Our grass cricket only starts late May. Yep. It's as Mohammed's in again. Similar ball, as we said. And
another Yorker, another run out.
Sharp as well to close the innings of the Gladiators with a run out at the non-strikers. Raz Mohammed with good awareness there, finishing the innings on 1-1-8. All out, leaving 119 for the Empire Lions to chase at run rate just shy of 6. So a few final words before the break, Coach.
Look forward to seeing how the Emirates go about chasing the score down. I'd love to see a bit of pressure in that sort of power play period, and love to see them put some pressure back on the fielding side and hopefully finish this game off in within 10 overs. That would be lovely to see.
Which batter are you most interested in looking at this evening?
Mac, I must say.
Mac, yeah.
Yes, Mohan, the keeper. I haven't seen much of him. I've seen him in the nets. He's got a lovely nickname of Shubman Gill. He definitely looks like him when he's batting, and I would love to see it now live on the field. I've only had the opportunity to throw a few balls at him in the nets, but from what I saw, he is definitely a talent and one to look out for. So I hope to see something special from him.
Okay, so viewers, do join us again after the break. Approximately 10 minutes from here, we'll see Empire Lions chasing 119 to win this match tonight. So do join us again. Catch you all soon. Welcome back for the second innings of this FPL match between Finn Cricket Gladiators and the Empire Lions. The Empire Lions opening the batting this evening is, just waiting for the screen to be updated, chasing 119 for a victory. We have, by the looks of it, Jordan O'Brien, I think, the second batter out there, and he's joined by, just waiting to see as we get the graphics up on the screen, number 5, Ben Vaughan it is. It's the makeshift opener. I think it's safe to say makeshift opener, not the usual opener for the Empire Lions. Manraj Padal usually filling that role. He's not here this evening. And it'll be O'Brien who shall face the first delivery of the second innings. Run rate required just shy of 6, 5.95. Mohandas it is who shall take the first over. Sunil Kumar from the water tower or the road end. And now in the first over of the second innings, we shall see fielding set for the power play of deep fine leg to O'Brien and a deep third man. Quite narrow to start with, as we have a resumption on time this evening. Jordan O'Brien facing and leaves that one. Zips through to the keeper, number 55. Brar is the keeper from the Gladiators. Mohandas, the bowler, through again to the keeper, who manages to put that one down wide to start the score for the Empire Lions. So the breezy conditions continue. Mohandas O'Brien slaps that one out to the cover fielder just in the ring, and there's no run there, so score remains on a single run so far off the over, just the wide. As Mohandas comes off a few steps, slingy right arm action. As O'Brien then guides that one, beats the two diving fielders just on the ring. I think they probably got a bit of a touch on it. The fielder manages to come round and sweep to avoid the boundary, just keeps that to a 2. So O'Brien off the mark with that shot. Nicely guided then past the two fielders on the ring. This time just flick down the leg side. Just keep that to a single as the deep fine leg fielder comes up to the ring, and 1 run. So it's 4 without loss at the end of the first. So O'Brien will keep strike, having taken the single off the last ball of the first over. So 115 runs remaining as the requirement. 19 overs. And the second over to be delivered from the residential end here this evening. It looks like number 23 on the shirt, Ankit Seth, according to my paperwork. Yep, also agreed on the screen. And he'll be bowling to Jordan O'Brien. Lovely evening, apart from the weather, which is quite clearly making the temperature feel cooler than otherwise. A little bit of nice and easy off spin, and it's slapped out towards a long on fielder who just manages to juggle with that one and keep it in. So Seth to continue to the Ben Vaughan, who guides that one backward through backward point, as I'm joined in the box by none other than legendary physio, ex-national team coach Julian Roach. Welcome to Finland, Julian. How are you?
I'm well, Andrew.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
Always good to see you over here in Finland. Always welcome.
Thank you.
Good flight?
Flight was very smooth, actually.
And then what was the route this time?
Via Iceland.
Via Iceland. Wow, what's that? Is there Reykjavik, is it something? Or
Reykjavik, Iceland Air.
Reykjavik, Iceland Air, nice.
5 hours, 1 hour layover, 3 hours to Finland.
Nice. And that's 5 hours from where were you flying?
From Toronto.
From Toronto. Okay.
Or Toronto, as they say.
So again, another single there, which brings O'Brien back on to strike. Oh, swing and a miss. Straight through to the keeper. Not quite sure whether he was trying to swing at that to get it over extra cover, or was he swinging at that to try and pull it round over mid-wicket anyway. In any case, no contact. A pair of gloves needed here in the box. And this time, better shot, that hits the stop netting over long on at 6. Although I was just about to say the sort of bowling that you would like to have faced back in the day, Julian, I suspect.
I would have had a go at it.
14 without loss at the end of the second. There's 10 off that one.
There's been some interesting field placing today, Andrew.
So I gather you were having discussions with Taku. What interesting is, do you want to explain further what you're interesting in mind? There's a hint of sarcasm, I guess, from that comment.
Only a touch.
Back in the day, it's you might have. I'm not quite sure whether it's this T20 and T10s, all sorts of other things. I think while the batters and the bowlers might get funky, I think fielding positions not really changed all that much over the years, has it?
Not really. If you're going to cut a single off at short extra cover or short mid-wicket, I mean, I don't know if that's changed.
Not really. Not really. I can't help think that seeing some of the fielders out here, which is not specific just to this team, but certainly as soon as the fielders are set back on the inner circle and they're not within 5-6 yards into the inner circle and attacking the ball, there tends to be a single to pretty much anyone in the inner, and that's something which I used to hate as a bowler. But, You as well, no doubt. As O'Brien has a slash at that one, just gets enough on it, and it's over the inner circle, backward fly slip fielder, and the third man who's out on the boundary doesn't manage to cut that one either. So there's a couple of bounces into the boundary fences for 4. It's Mohandas here bowling the 3rd over. O'Brien deciding that he might want to get this over before your pizza arrives.
Makes you wonder how the bowlers build any pressure.
Indeed. And O'Brien having a wilder swing at that one. Doesn't manage to make enough contact for it to go anywhere other than into his pad and into the ground, and no run. So we have for this 3rd over of the power play, it's a deep fine leg and a deep third man of the 2 fielders out. We've got a fly slip just on the ring. As O'Brien clears the fielder at a wide mid on, and as soon as you've cleared the inner circle fielders here, as we've seen earlier in the first innings, there's no question of there being a boundary, no need to run. Not quite sure whether with these line and lengths that the bowler's bowling, then whether or not the deep fine leg and deep third man is the field to be had, or the field to be set. They know where O'Brien is going to go now. They've moved the long on out, brought the fine leg up. O'Brien then guides that one to the left hand of cover on the ring, and there's an easy single. This brings, they've won on the strike, or was that the last ball of the over? It was the last ball of the over, so 24 without loss, 10 off that one at the end of the 3rd.
I'm not sure what the plan was there just now with the strategy for this particular bowler.
Yeah, I'm not sure there was much of one. But, again, as we were saying earlier to viewers, Sapan Mehtar is who will bowl the 4th, ex-national team player. I don't think you will have seen Sapan. Was in the national side a couple of years back. Nice classy left-handed opening bat. I think I'd probably have him as an opening bowler as well for this team, but anyway, he's coming in to bowl the 4th over from the residential end, left arm over. Nice medium pace, player that was in the squad for a couple of years. More additions to the family and other business commitments meant that he decided to curtail his international career. He's in. O'Brien then, eyes lit up to the left arm over, just short of length, didn't manage to make contact. Should have done, one would have thought. It was there to be pumped into the motorway, or the main road. So what have you been doing yourself over the last 6 months or so then, Julian?
Well, as you know, I'm working hard at building out my physiotherapy clinic.
How's that going?
That's going pretty nicely, actually. Yeah. We're expanding a lot of our services now, doing a lot of team services, sports medicine management, on-field services, injury analysis, and team strength and conditioning programs. I think your national team might benefit from that.
Yeah, no doubt. If we let's say keep looking for those additional revenue streams to add value to all sorts of our package for the national teams. The first year that Finland has had an under-15s, a national women's side and a national men's side, then playing in a single summer. It's O'Brien drives that one wide of the relatively immobile-looking mid-off fielder as soon as it was to his left hand, and a boundary 4 on the cards. How many years is it since you left Finland after you qualified?
21
As a
years
physio,
now, Andrew.
21 years, really.
Yes.
My word. Let's not talk about that history then. Black and white TVs and dinosaurs. I think somebody mentioned that in one of the bit of commentary the other week, as O'Brien manages to. Oh, well, I was just about to say. He's going to see what the umpire's going to call there, as the long on fielder wasn't right on the boundary where he should have been, and that one has bounced. Say whether it bounced before the rope or just after the rope. Either way, should have been a catch, really, and it's been signalled as a 6, fortunately for the long on fielder, as I thought for a second that as he was creeping in, the ball literally just went over his head, and I would have thought that that was exactly the position that he was supposed to be in to take a catch. However, he wasn't, and he didn't, so the score moves along to 35.
I have to say, Andrew, the outfield looks amazing.
Yeah, it's had a fair amount of TLC, and I know you and Stevie Law also go back a long way, and TLC is not exactly the first thing that will come to mind when you mention that name, but no, he is proud of the green, and loves to spend his time here, loves to moan and groan to absolutely everybody else that comes down here, as that certainly hasn't changed, but as we're still looking for the ball out here, I think it's just in the long grass, as it didn't go over the stop nets, but we've got grass in between the netting just outside the boundary here at the Carver residential end. Yeah, it's there's a fair bit of work that goes into, obviously, depending on how the Finnish winter has gone through March and April. There's a lot of work that Stevie already starts at as soon as the snow has melted. Normally around about the middle of April is when we tend to bring him down to the ground, make sure everything's ready to go as fast as possible, and this winter was particularly kind to grass growers. We have a couple of people that assist us with grass maintenance, provision of fertilizers and seeding and so on and so forth. The mower gets a nice service and new blades for the summer, so the cut is always nice and neat through May and June. And given the amount of cricket that takes place here, pretty much 7 days a week, and with only the one strip, so it's always, the question is pretty much about maintenance of the run-up areas. We're looking at the moment to invest in a little bit of underground pipe work for some sprinklers that we can automate from the this residential end. We've had an extra water well put in by the local water council, and looking at doing a sprinkler system. We're not got enough money for the whole ground, but a sprinkler system for the inner circle, which will also obviously cover the run-ups as well, make sure that enough water goes down, because that's the strange thing is that you and I haven't played a fair bit of cricket back in England in the day, and we get less rain, generally speaking, here in the summer than back in England. So water is often an issue with the grass. If we have a dry patch or dry period now through June, then often we see parched looking outfields into July, just for the simple reason of the
But yes, while we were waiting for the ball to be retrieved or changed, I have to say the ground looks great. You're getting full value for your shots, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think the difference that you could see this afternoon when you popped in at the Tikkurila ground, nice ground as it is, but it's mainly a football ground, which is shared with cricket, and as wonderful a job as the municipal ground staff do at Tikkurila, then they don't take the grass down as low as we do here. Stevie's already mowing at about 20 mil already at this time of the year. And that's way lower than the normal football ground staff would be cutting the grass. So yeah, we get good value for the shots. And as you can see here, there's also a little bit of a slope from right to left as we sit here in the commentary box. So apologies there for the delay, everybody. Whilst we have a lost ball, the umpires have now had a look at some spares, and we'll carry on. Apologies for the break. The field set now for O'Brien after that previous shot is cow corner on the rope, and the long on this time at least is now right on the rope after the last one just going marginally above his head. And that's left. It's a wide ball from Mehta, left by O'Brien. Through to the keeper. We're just looking at the positioning from the commentary box. Not ideal for us to see a full 360 here, just if you're wondering. And as I've just told you, there was a cow corner and a long on as the field set outside the inner circle. So there was no question that as soon as O'Brien gets some width outside the off, pump that one away over the fielder. 4 runs as soon as it left the bat in this rapid outfield. So one idea that we've had here at the National Ground is to use the scaffolding that we've got at the other end of the ground for a possible future commentary location. On a nice day, certainly wouldn't want to be sitting up there now with 7 or 8 meters high up with the wind blowing through. Mehta's in again. O'Brien then flicks that one off the legs. Straying here, struggling with his lines. Mehta, it's not going to carry. Whether they're going to come back for a third, no. Semi-decent throw in from the deep mid-wicket boundary. They just keep that to a 2. That brings us to the end of the 4th over. 42 without loss. Gladiators were at the same stage, 25 for the loss of 2 wickets. So Empire well ahead of the game, as head coach Casano then said at the end of the first innings he'd expect them to, or he's hoping that they would chase this score in around 10 overs, and by they he meant Finnish National Bears batters. Whilst Taku is here to view the match this evening, joining the squad for some training sessions in the coming week before the Finnish team goes out to Copenhagen next Friday to resume the battle with our Nordic neighbours. Denmark, Sweden and Norway will be playing T20 international series, all ranking points on the table for Friday, Saturday and Sunday next weekend. As we have, I was going to say we'd have a change of ball, but we don't. It's Mohandas who will continue. To Vaughan, just stabs that one down. Fielded in a deep gully position, there's no run. So things have moved on somewhat since your days as the coach of the national side. I suspect back in the day we wouldn't have minded having a ground like this on the grounds that you and I were playing on in the early 2000s.
Gravel.
Indeed, not very good for the elbows and knees. But as that one is played nicely by Vaughan through mid-wicket, the fielder just about manages to cut that one off, and I was about to look up and see whether they'd turn for a third, but they decided against doing so. 3 probably was on there, I would have thought. But just keep it to a 2. Yeah, knees, elbows, cricket shirts, cricket trousers, 10 a penny, weren't they, back in the day?
Indeed.
Not much more to be said about that. Long may those days be past.
I'm curious as to why our slow medium bowler is having a deep fine leg.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure as to the logic of that field placing, but as we've seen early on this evening, there's quite a few interesting field placing. I think interesting was the word that you and Taco then come up with, wasn't it? As the view is partially ruined by Raz Mohammed going past with his unshaven, sleek look. 45 without loss is the score currently, and O'Brien manages to top edge that one, but there's no fielder out at extra cover. The wide mid-off fielder comes round to sweep the boundary to avoid going for 4, and O'Brien playing the shot that he thought he was going to play. But,
Both the shots looked rather agricultural,
they
to be
did
honest.
indeed. They did indeed. The second and the third one, yeah, they weren't much better than the first one that he'd played. Not quite sure why you want to repeat it. But, perhaps a more classic inside-out extra cover drive would have been what we would have been looking for back in the day. The one that you used to hit at extra cover as well, wasn't it? You hit one nice one. It was always aerial when you hit it, if I remember correctly. You're normally using the bat that I couldn't get it off the square with, but anyway, probably less said about my batting the better. About the same level as the gravel grounds that we were playing on, but anyway, what would you say would be some of your favourite memories from those times, Julian? Other than the gravel, obviously that's not on the favourite list, but a Beerjan laugh, that's one of my favourites, that's for sure. He's still going to come up with something as we leave him stewing on that one. Offline thinking of the answer. No, that just means that no answer, so I haven't got any good favourite memories from that time. Who would have favourite memories from playing on gravel? But anyway, we have a change of bowling. It's Kumar as a bowl the 6th. And he's straying down the leg side for a wide.
I remember Scott Thurlin's passion.
Okay. Favourite memories from the past. Okay, interesting. Passion. Yep. And they come through for a single.
Jonathan October punching it off the back foot through point at a rate of knots.
Yeah, it went at a rate of knots when he punched it, didn't it? Yep. Seem to remember that happening. What tour would that have been? It was what they used to call it back in the day, European Cricket Council, some sort of international festival. We played 50 overs back then, I think, as well, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, well.
I think the guys would have been better with the 2020.
Indeed.
They struggled after about over 35.
Yeah. 50 up, 51 without losses. O'Brien then plays it out to the deep mid-wicket boundary area or region for 2 runs. Yeah, I recollect. I think the first time, I think it was even before your time. The first event that we ever played in as Finland was 2000 in Austria, and I just remember it being 50 overs every single day of the week. There might have been one rest day, and temperatures of never dropping below 35 degrees. And yeah, there were a few, what should I say, passengers by the end of the week, even at the start of the innings, no mind the end of it. So I seem to remember bowling a lot of overs during that particular tour. And, fond memories of the grass ground at, can't remember the name of the location, but I think it's still there in Austria.
With the 2 pitches on the hill, that one. And then there was the nicer ground. which was just one pitch.
Yeah, the one pitch that had the 3-meter fence all the way around.
Actually, that was probably one of my best memories.
Against Portugal, was it? If I
Yeah,
remember. Yeah.
nice little spell.
Seem to remember you bowling rather quickly on that day. Was that before you pulled the what's that rib muscle called?
Obliques.
Yeah, obliques. There was some fancier name for it, or maybe it was just back then. 52 without loss at the end of the 6th. So the end of the power play. 41 for the loss of 3 wickets. The Gladiators were at the end of 6. So Empire ahead of the game, but not really pushing on from the 4th and 5th over. But almost halfway in the chase. 67 runs required from the remaining 14 overs, so the run rate required slips below 5.
Jordan is using a lot of energy trying to pump every ball for 6. I think there's so many gaps in the field. He could even just, maneuver the ball and make the fielders do a bit of running. Maybe he wants to avoid a bit of running.
Yeah, I suspect the latter. Knowing Jordan as we do. Coach Casano, I suspect, feels the same way as well. But, if you change of bowling, that's Prasad. It's coming to bowl the 7th. That's a little bit of floaty offies.
I want to look a little bit too far up to cut, I suspect.
Yep, none of these bowlers have been seen before, as this team was playing in Division 1 last year, so all relatively new experiences for their opposition this summer, at least for the first game of the summer, as that one is, should we say politely, agriculturally pulled through mid-wicket just for a single. A field set now as we've finished with the power play. We've got, we haven't got anybody at long gone. Sorry, we haven't got anybody backward of square out on the boundary. We've got a fine leg and what do we call that? It's that's not a fly slip, but I guess it's just a backward slip position. It'd probably be a slip position to somebody that was actually bowling quick, but as it is, it's a nothing position.
Again, an interesting choice to the off spinner, not having anyone behind square.
Nobody behind square. No, I was just looking for the somebody behind square, but there isn't one. We've got a deep mid wicket out. We've got a cow corner out. We've got a long on. But this one is chipped over the infield.
Okay.
The cover fielder comes round to sweep. They'll come back for a second. Yeah, nothing round the corner for the Nurdle. This is quite strange, given this is right arm offies. But anyway, suspect that, as is the case with, that's well fielded. I'd say a nice little pull shot from Ben Vaughan, but straight towards the fielder, who cleanly fields and returns to the bowler, and there's no run. Yeah, fielding positions, I think, tend to be something which are not necessarily studied all that much by many of the teams in Finland. Plenty of practicing about batting and bowling, but at the end of the day, as we know, T20 matches can be won and lost just by the odd run here and there, and can't help but feel that more focus is required on fielding positions to different bowlers. But I guess that's part of the cultural development for the game, which is still in an organised capacity relatively young in Finland still. I'd like to think that we could think positively about that as a future development area. Anyway, at the end of the 7th, we're at 56 without loss, 46 for the loss of 3 wickets. Gladiators were at the equivalent moment in time in the first innings. So Empire just not all that far ahead in terms of runs, just a 7 ahead at the moment. Prasad. There's just no. Wait, Prasad was the last over. Screen just slight delay. I don't think there was any question about that one being anywhere near given. It was good to see that was going down, missing the net set from this angle. Kumar it is that's bowling the 8th over. Leg buys the call. So what do we have here? We have a rather straight long off, long on, cow corner and a deep mid, and that's well wide. So the offside. Another one to the extras. Sweeper out on the cover boundary. As O'Brien tries to pull that one away too. Well, I guess there is a sort of a rather large vacant area from the fielder just at backward square leg to the fielder out there at a wide, deep mid-wicket position out on the boundary. This one again. Attempted pull, just straight to the long on fielder. Come back for a single.
Would be nice to see O'Brien tuck some of those straighter balls into the gaps.
Yeah, and there's plenty of them. Yeah, like that really. I mean that's
Yes.
Vaughan then just playing for an easy single to the left hand of the cover fielder, playing it towards long on.
Jordan O'Brien is batting very well. I wonder if he could elevate his game a little bit by maneuvering those just back of a left balls into gaps rather than trying to pull them, and sort of get twos maybe into the gaps rather than trying to smash it and just getting the one. Lots of energy for little return.
As O'Brien then slashes away at that one, and there is no fielder backward third man, so it just trickles over the boundary rope for 4.
That was a curious one. I believe we have a short third slip.
Yeah, I was trying to describe what that position was in the previous over. Not really a position that is in my textbook, at least, unless somebody was bowling particularly quick. But, anyway, that one is squirted onto the legs and 6. That's I think we've got issues with the Off that one.
All the way, fella, come boy! All the way, lads!
Apologies for the slight technological delay there as the scoreboard crashed, and as we get back underway, as O'Brien then pumps next ball straight out to cow corner fielder for a single. In the break he's moved on to 57 from 32. The score has moved along to 76 without loss. This one is guided by Vaughan into the mid-wicket region. The two sweeper fielders coming around just to get that to a single.
Vaughan obviously showing that it's difficult to get out from the other end.
Indeed. O'Brien then hits this one in the direction of long off, who didn't look like he was interested to try and make a catch out of that one. But, O'Brien moves along to 58 from 33 at the end of the ninth. Score 78 without loss. So just the last couple of overs, Empire batters moved along 26 runs ahead of the equivalent score from the Gladiators at the end of the ninth. 52 for the loss of 4 they were, 78 without loss. 41 runs required from 11 overs at a nice and easy 3.7 runs per over. Prasad then has gone for 17 from his 2 overs.
That'd be civilized.
Yeah, civilized hot pot of tea was required. Anybody listening to requests, kindly deliver to the commentary box at long off to the right-handed O'Brien, who is going to face Mohandas, who has changed ends, and one that should have been snatched by the keeper. It wasn't, so O'Brien gets another single. There's another rather agricultural attempt at a shot. Sees an edge fly past the keeper, bringing Vaughan back onto strike, and he guides this one through the vacant slip region to the third man fielder just outside the ring for a single. Moves the score along to 80 as we have a peak to delivery, and O'Brien lucky to get away with one there, pulled across to mid-wicket. Fielder making a bit of a mess of stopping that one, and they'll come back for a second. So O'Brien moves along to 61 from 35. And O'Brien then advances down and manages to thick edge that one. Only to the third man fielder for a single. Move the score along to 80, 82, 83. And Vaughan back on strike. There's no run. So Mohandas with, yeah, I think that was the case. He did bowl 3 overs from the other end, so this is his 4th and final over of his spell. Decent enough figures, and that's a wide. Just commentator's curse on that one to finish the over. Doesn't manage to do so yet. We'll see another delivery as the pizza slices are being passed around the commentary. I shall try and keep you updated. Vaughan then just guides that one nicely around the corner for a single to backward square. And there's a bit of a misfield, but they won't come back for a second. 85 without loss. With, I was just about to say the end of the over, but there's one to come still to bring up the halfway point of the innings. Mohandas in, and O'Brien again swings for the heavens. Doesn't make contact, through to the keeper, no run. 86 without loss.
Again, I would love to see Jordan push those kind of straight balls into the gaps for 1 or 2, especially on this outfield that runs pretty quickly. I'm sure he could have pushed a few of those balls into gaps and got some runs. I'm sure at the higher level, international level, he's not going to get quite as many long hops as he has in this game. So he has to work out with his talent and his ability how to maneuver the field. These are good opportunities for him to work on this part of his game.
Coaching analysis going on here in the commentary box for Jordan O'Brien to have a listen to post-match. It's Vaughan, however, that's on strike for the first ball of the 11th, which is going to be bowled by another change of bowler, Pensia it is. Looks like, again, being right arm offies. And Vaughan then plays that one out nicely off the hip, just to the deep square, backward square boundary fielder, and that's just a single. Brings O'Brien back on the strike. Suspect we might not see a change of approach from Jordan O'Brien to this bowling this evening, as coaches Roach and Casano are looking for, as it is. Pensia is in, and yeah, well, that one's hit into the ditch over long on. Another one of those long hops that you were mentioning earlier, Julian. 6 it is.
Nice swing from O'Brien, though.
Yep, good contact with that one. But I mean, it was.
It begged to be hit.
I was just about to say, lollipop was something that that did come to mind. But it was certainly asking for the treatment that it received, and one bounce into the long grass just over the ditch at wide long on. It looks like now they have found the ball. There we go. So we'll not have another extended break before the over continues. We've had already one change of ball this evening, but they managed to find that one. The Gladiator fielders there out in the long grass.
Ben Vaughan has played a quietly supportive innings. There was a mix-up in the field there at deep square. Neither deep mid wicket nor backward square moved for that ball. I don't think anyone saw it. Four runs. They're now moving a third fielder out onto the deep boundary. There's no one saving the single on the circle at mid wicket. Very interesting. I guess it forces the bowler to bowl outside off stump. However, this is quite curious. I'm not sure what the plan is here. They're bowling for a caught on the deep mid wicket boundary.
Certainly looks that way. And I suspect they're not going to get another one.
Well, that was the plan.
As they've seen Jordan O'Brien pump a couple of them into the ditch over mid wicket, and there's same again, same result.
He needed to be somewhat deeper there.
Yeah, somewhere the other side of the boundary fence, around about 10 yards further back. Hopefully they'll again find this one. There are full-size international boundaries here at the Kerava National Ground, but for those sort of loopy little offies, there's not really much to say other than catching practice outside of the boundary rope. Anyway, as it is, that's another 6 onto the score. That brings up the 100 for the Empire Lions. 103 without loss, with one ball remaining in the 11th. Not quite made it in 10 as head coach Taku Kazana was asking for, but then we've only seen one Finnish Bears batter opening the innings for Empire this evening, so I suspect we may end up not seeing any others. Pensia's in again, and this time O'Brien doesn't make the same contact with the ball. There's one bounce to the deep fielder there at long on, just for a single to keep the strike. That's 104 at the end of the 11th. So just 15 more required, and 9 overs still to get it. So we might see it in the next one, or 2 overs, I suspect. 79 from 42 for O'Brien so far. 416 from 24. He'd be happy with that as somebody that's not normally playing in this team. .98 for the Gladiators. That's oh, wait a minute. The shirt says 98, but it's not the same name that I have on the list. I'm not going to try and pronounce that surname. As O'Brien then pumps the first ball into the stop nets for a 6. So we might see this one over sooner rather than later in this over, if he's going to be fed those sort of deliveries. I think it's Jagadish who's down as number 36. So I'm not quite sure what jumper he's got on, but it's certainly not the one that's allocated to his name. One of the requirements in the Finnish Premier League is that you do have a number which stays your shirt for the season. But anyway, O'Brien gets another one, and this time clears the stop net, hopefully wide enough. Hopefully wide enough of the stop net to not have bothered the neighbours, as that one certainly headed off in that direction. Can't see that from the commentary box. So that's 2 sixes, 116, just 3 remaining.
I imagine Jordan O'Brien is having a little chat with Ben.
What do you think he's saying?
Mid-pitch. I guess he's picking his spot to end the game.
Yeah, if he gets fed any more deliveries in the slot, and I suspect it'll be over with the next ball. Or do you think we might see push for a single through extra cover?
I think
नबीन बोले
And this one, sure enough, is... oh, well, I was just about to say, sure enough, hit down the throat of cow corner fielder, but he managed to walk past it straight through both hands, and that is indeed Coach Casano. Then game over, 120. 120 without loss, with 119 being the requirement, so that's 664 to finish the innings. O'Brien finishes on 95 from 45. Ben Vaughan in the supporting role, 16 from 24. And Empire Lands then take this one home relatively easily with 8.3 overs remaining. And as we see the end of proceedings for the match this evening, thank you to all of our viewers all around the world. As production manager, FPL president Geet Raju comes to the commentary box to signal for the thumbs up for the end of the game, and Julian Roach finishes off his slice of pizza. Thank you for joining us this evening, Coach Roach, Coach Casano. It's been a pleasure to have you in the commentary box. Perhaps not as exciting a game as we could have wished for, but anyway, a game as such, all finished. Thank you, everyone. Do join us again. We've got under 15 cricket internationals, Finland, Switzerland tomorrow at the Tikkurila Cricket Ground, starting at 9:30. Two T10 matches before the Swiss head back home, and we have Premier League matches down here at the Kerava National Cricket Ground. So do join us again. We'll see you all soon. Take care. Have a good Saturday evening.
thank you very much and bye.
he was speaking a lot. If you don't take him the cash, I would have given him
Back.
Bottles of pants, George. If he got Ryan. Himanshu, this is yours. ये किसका है? मुझे नहीं पता। शायद इन लोगों ने नहीं, इन लोगों का नहीं था। एक किनको दिया था? किसका है? मेरे को तो एक ही मिला, ये एक विकेट वाला था। नहीं, आगे क्लब का है या किसी और का है? नहीं, मुझे नहीं पता है। वहाँ पे अंदर ना बकेट होती है। पूछ ले किसी से, उन्होंने हमें दे रहा है। कौन सा विकेट? नहीं, उनका नहीं है, ये तो गीत तो था, गीत